Good morning, Laetitia. We are meeting again in continuity with our last week's discussion about innovation. Today, we'll focus on identifying the client's needs. Could you tell us what methods, what approaches you use to highlight clients' needs for your innovations?
Okay, so maybe I can speak of a first initiative, which consists in using an ethnographic approach. We call it ethnography of habits. The idea is to assist people in their practices by correlating the observation of the practices and extensive interviews to be sure of getting the motivations. It would probably be better to use some example. We were wondering how to renew our Peugeot 307. One of our objectives was to integrate an innovative shape into the new range. We noticed the minivan slowing. This type of car was getting boring. And on the contrary, we saw the uprising of the SUV, relying on the strengthening of individualism and leisurely society. So we developed this approach of ethnography of habits in order to understand how it felt to own a car, an SUV, a minivan. So we identified two important elements around the driver's position and the car trunk. Then we oriented the Peugeot 3008, which was a crossover, a new object, an intermediate object between different worlds with an innovative driver's position. Indeed, during our observations, we understood that in a minivan, individuals lost their physical points of reference. They had no dedicated space anymore, which was not very positive. This guided us. The other interesting element was the observation of the leisure and sportive habits. And this is very challenging for a car in terms of functionality, cleanliness, and modularity. It helped us in designing a new trunk with multi-level boards. So, in the end, it was a success because we gained some market shares thanks to this vehicle.
Do you take into account the societal tendencies to understand emerging needs?
Yes, you must keep in mind that we evolve in a demanding context. Like I said the last time, we need a long-term view. We often work on 10 years projections. That's why we develop perspective approaches like the Social and Cultural Monitoring Center. This monitoring center allows us to mobilize the whole societal tendencies and individual aspirations. We built it from ethnologists, sociologists' works, but also by observing a lot of practices, consuming practices, artistic practices. I could tell an example. Some years ago, we identified a topic, well-being and health. We worked a lot on it. We worked together, indeed. And we observed noticeable growth of practices like fitness, thermal baths, spas, along with many concerns about health, about the inequity and the effects of the consumed products, a quest for stability and for harmony. So they were meaningful elements for the individuals. Then we assessed the automobile offer at the time and compared it to these aspirations. Obviously, we noticed a significant gap, so we decided to look for solutions to meet the needs.
I imagine the persona method was useful while you were identifying the needs.
Yes, yes, obviously. Previously, I was speaking about Camille. Camille lives in quite a stressful context, quite constraining as well. So she needs to maintain her rhythm of action. She also needs to relax sometimes, and living with a very busy schedule, being allowed to do relaxing things in her car can matter to her. So all these approaches were about offering our clients an experience we can call multi-sensory and going beyond a simple well-being of health service. That was the idea.
Thank you very much, Laetitia. Goodbye.